Today is a tree cutting day, and for the trees we're cutting down, we called in the professionals. Now, we bought this property for many reasons, but one of the things that really excited us were all the large mature trees. Michelle and I love being out in nature, in the woods, and being in this home just felt like we were set in a cabin in the woods. Even though we are in Louisville, Kentucky, the largest city in Kentucky. But the property was so unique, had lots of benefits, and again, one of them being those big mature trees. Yet there are some trees in our property that had to come down, and today is the day for those trees. The first one that we're having taken down is a blue spruce that is just feet from our house. It is slowly dying. Gonna be sad to see it go because I've been enjoying watching the birds picking insects out of the bark. But as I said, way too close to our house, and in the most recent storm that we had, you could see the tree swaying back and forth and the roots actually starting to pull up. So I was really hoping that the tree wasn't going to come down crashing through our living room. Thankfully it stayed in place, but today it's coming down, and that is going to be the very first one. Now, other than getting rid of these nuisance trees, I'm really excited to have all of the wood chips. One of the things that we asked, which also helped with the price, was that we would keep the wood chips and any of the logs for all the trees that they were taking down. I've been chipping things on our property with my little wood chipper, which is small, mighty, but definitely doesn't compare to a big giant wood chipper. We've also had wood chips dropped off from another tree company that we originally got through Chip Drop, and we're going to be using those in our garden and all sorts of other places. But really happy to have more wood chips for our gardens and a trail that we're making through the forest. Speaking of the forest, that's where the second tree is that we're having cut down. That tree fallen into another tree, both of them being consumed by invasive species. The one that's falling down was it's really taken down by winter creeper, and then it's snagged in a tree that is covered in English ivy. If you want to know more about invasive species, in particular the ones that you shouldn't be growing or should remove from your property, particularly if you're in North America, go check that video out. But it's I think it's good for anybody to learn a little bit more about invasive species. But that tree is going to be coming down, which is going to make the wooded area where we're going to have this trail going through and all these plants, native plants that we're planting in the woodlands, just safer, because at any point that tree could come crashing down the way it's snagged, but with it down, the area will be much safer. The next tree that's coming down is a maple tree that it's a little close to our house, but the real problem is the way that it's growing up into a big mature oak tree. It's just snagged in the branches. It's not going to be growing well. It's going to cause problems down the road. So we're going to be cutting that one down, and those logs I'm going to use to inoculate with mushrooms. I ordered several mushroom plugs online from a company called North Spore, so I'm still waiting on those to arrive. But that's what I'll be using those logs for, and some other logs from trees that I've cut down on my own. The last tree to come down is the big one. And this tree, it saddens me a little bit to be taking this tree down. Big, giant, beautiful maple tree right in front of our house. One of the big trees that made us, sort of fall in love with our home, being surrounded by all these trees. But this tree, it was identified early on when we had an arborist come out that it's got some root rot, some fungus at the base of the tree that you can see is starting to take down the tree, or it's eventually going to take it down. So rather than waiting for it to fall, crush one of my, my brother's truck or his house, my little building, our house, have it come down with a professional and not nature taking it out. So that tree, very big. They're going to be limbing it out, taking it section by section to get it a little bit more manageable. Just can't drop the whole thing because it's so big. It'd be a little unwieldy, and then taking it down. Okay, so what did you think? Very exciting day here at our property, seeing all of these trees cut down, watching professionals at work. If you want to follow along for more videos as we transform our property into a permaculture homestead, especially as spring is arriving and more of what we're actually going to be adding to the property, not taking away, like with these trees and invasive species and other things, be sure to subscribe. If you've made it this far, I think you liked it, so give it a thumbs up. And I wish you the very best. My name is Tyler Lloyd, and see you later.